Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Tuesday morning edition of Spiritual Healthcare. I'm Morgan Knudsen, and I just am so happy to be able to do this with you guys because I'm getting a lot of fantastic feedback of you guys that are watching the videos while they're live, also watching the videos when they get posted, of course, to the Entity Seeker Facebook page, and everybody's feedback has been really, really great. So I'm so glad that this is helping people. We've been getting a lot of great questions on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and all of these different, and getting emails and stuff like that. So lots of great feedback and information, which is wonderful. So we've got some really, really great questions that came in today. A really powerful question as well that I'm going to be talking about here in just a second. I've got some more tools for you guys to to play around with, tools from the Teaching the Living program that I keep giving my clients and things like that. So I'm going to be giving those to you guys as well, which I definitely have been finding, helps with fear and the unsettled feeling that everybody has about all of the crazy that's going on right now. So we're going to be getting into those. We're going to be doing another really awesome reading, Manifest Your Desires, from, of course, Jerry and Esther Hicks, because they're some of my favorites, and some great words from them, and yeah, as I say, some tools and stuff like that, and of course lots of paranormal discussion, because we can't forget about all of that. So this is going to be really great. So if you guys have questions or comments or anything, please feel free to throw them in the chat box. I've noticed that I haven't been actually getting all of the live feed as it comes up. So if for some reason your question or everything gets missed, it's not because I'm ignoring you, it's because I don't necessarily see it in the feed. So I apologize ahead of time if that's the case. So, but as I say, we've got questions today, we've got lots of tools, and a reading, and we're going to talk some paranormal stuff, so it's really cool. All right. So the first question that I actually want to get to it's a really, really important one, and it has such a direct effect on what we're all dealing with here as, hi Dave, hey Kevin, has a direct effect on, I think, how everybody's feeling, especially in regards to healthcare workers. As most of you guys know, I have a show, Haunted Hospitals and Paranormal 911, that I work on with some hello Mark, that I work on with some really incredible people, and healthcare workers, like my co-host Richard Estep, yeah, so the healthcare side of things, of course, is a really big deal. And so the question that came in was actually through Instagram, and this was really great. It came from Gazel71, and he said, I'm back at work tomorrow after 3 rest days. I'm a healthcare worker providing care for the elderly. I'm slightly apprehensive, not at the job, but of the journey there and back. I have to use public transport, and I would hate to be in a situation where I pick the virus up and carry it to work. The consequences are unthinkable. So what is the best state of mind for something like this? Okay, so when we start to think about the current situation, kind of like a negative haunting, or a place that we would go into where we've got outside things that are happening that we can't necessarily control. And the one thing I always remind clients of, and which I think is really important, is that we really do get what we think about. And not only do we get what we think about, but we get where we are, right, on that vibrational and emotional continuum. So if we are sitting in a state of fear, if we're sitting in, oh my God, I don't want this to happen, the universe doesn't hear no, okay? We really live in an inclusive universe. And when we turn around and we go into a situation, or we go into a haunting or anything like that, and hello Victoria, we go into a haunting or a negative haunting, a negative space, and we say, I don't want this to happen, I don't want this thing to happen. What usually happens is exactly what you don't want, and it's because the universe is very inclusive. So the one thing I would say that, if you have to commute and things like that, don't do it from that space of fear, because not only is it not good for just your point of attraction in general, but then you start making bad decisions. You're forgetting about protocols and not touching your face, and you're doing all that, so your state of mind becomes really compromised. So that's one thing that I would definitely make people aware of. And the fact that we create what we fear. We unfortunately tend to do that. We create what we fear. We create again what we're focused upon. And we tend to look where we want to go, right? It's kind of like driving. It's like if you don't want to hit a car or hit an object, make sure you're looking at the way around the object. Don't be looking at the object, so you'll drive right into it. So that's one thing as well. And the other major factor I think that people forget is that fear actually lowers our immune system. It really does. Fear and disconcerting feelings and upset and all of that actually lowers our immune system on a chemical and biological level. So we don't want to be doing that. We don't want to be stuck there. It's okay to feel fear, but it's a really important thing to be able to get out of it. A really great way to do that is on yesterday's spiritual healthcare. I gave you guys the process of a focus wheel. If you missed yesterday's episode, go back on that after this, and you'll get that process. And that can be really, really helpful in the moment. So apart from doing all the physical things like making sure you're physical distancing from people, and making sure you're not touching your face, you're washing your hands for the full 30 seconds, all of that, state of mind is just so important. So you can't help but have to go to work in a situation like Gazel 71's situation, but at the same time we can do it from a different place. We can do it from a different state of mind. So that would be what I would offer to you guys. The next question was so brilliant, and I have to read this, and it came from Victoria on Twitter, and she asked, "Is it normal for my deceased husband to check out potential dates or boyfriends? Asking for a friend." Okay, not really, but it does seem to happen from time to time. And let me tell you, Victoria, you are not alone with this. This often happens, and it's so funny because we worry that these people who we love and have passed over are going to be upset or angry or things like that, and honestly that doesn't really happen. Non-physical really wants us to be as happy as we possibly can be. So is it normal? Does this happen? Yeah, it does. It totally does, because as we are so tuned in, when we are tuned in at least, to all that is and non-physical energy, we have access to the loved ones that really, really care, that really do love and still want that interaction with us. Now, the other thing is if it's becoming an issue, don't feel afraid to turn around and say, "Look, I got this. Okay, I got this." Because one of the things that people, I think, forget is the fact that we don't need a medium or somebody super, tuned in or whatnot to be able to communicate with, what is non-physical. We really don't. And, they are so aware of us. They so hear us. They are so present in our day-to-day experience. And oftentimes it's just us that we just kind of miss it. We get so busy in our heads. We get so busy with all the crazy things going on that we really do. We forget that, hello, Patricia. We really do forget that we have this ability to communicate with all of these amazing energies and intelligences, and they are so primed to interact with us. So yeah, is it normal? Yeah, it is. Believe it or not, 75%, here's a stat for you guys actually, 75% of the population that at least have been asked have experienced paranormal phenomenon. So the idea that this is something that is anomalous, that is, something that's often left field is actually just not true. Hollywood will really push the idea that it's something that it's rare and it's scary and all of these things, but the reality is that most people have had some sort of psi experience, have felt that some sort of paranormal thing has happened to them. And a lot of people, the majority of people, high percentage, I can't remember the percentage at the moment, but high percentage 100% believe that they have been helped by the situation. They felt good about it. It's a very small percentage that have, really been emotionally damaged or felt like they've been emotionally damaged by the stuff that's gone on. So usually these interactions are really great, and we really try, just the people that have implemented Teaching the Living, my program, which is about dealing with the emotional relationship between us and non-physical, have really found that encouraging that connection and that communication is so important. So that kind of actually leads us a little bit back into the last question, because I think right now having that relationship with whatever non-physical is for you, whether you call it God, whether you call it source, whether you call it the universe, whatever it is, whatever word you want to use for it, having that understanding and being able to know that those interactions exist, I think is so crucial in moving us through some really, really difficult times right now, because the ability for us to sort of sit back, stay at home and just surrender and be and just be within ourselves is just so important. This is really an opportunity for us to tune inwards, and to sort of stop the crazy. You guys aren't going to work. You guys don't need to go to work. It's just, we have the opportunity to just sit and be. And now oftentimes when people hear the word surrender, they're thinking of this. Surrender's not this, okay? Surrender is this. Yeah. So, and as I say, this doesn't have to be a religious thing or anything like that. This is something of just being able to be in our space, understand that, we are gonna be okay, and our state of mind is really, really crucial to be able to move ourselves through this in the best way possible and to help others, especially if you're in the role of a healthcare worker. So, so that being said, I want to read a short bit from this wonderful book. If you guys don't have it, hi Lizette. If you guys do not have this one, this might be available on ebook. I don't know. But it is by Jerry and Esther Hicks, The Teachings of Abraham, and I am such a fan of these people, such a fan of Abraham, because their advice is just brilliant, and I like to pull advice from so many different sources, as many as I can, because I think there's gems in everything if you start to look for them, and these guys have been so influential for me. So the one that I want to read to you guys is quite short, but here we go. You were born with an innate knowledge that you do create your own reality. And in fact, that knowledge is so basic within you that when someone attempts to thwart your own creation, you feel an immediate discord within yourself. Within you today lives the knowledge that you are the creator of your own life experience. That absolute freedom exists as the basis of your true experience, and that ultimately the creation of your life experience is absolutely and only up to you. Thank you, Lizette. I so appreciate that from you. I so appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So I think that is I think that is so true about right now, and so related to what we just discussed. That even though it seems like circumstances are quite chaotic right now, we really do have the potential still and have the ability still of creating what it is that we want. And that actually leads me into the tool that I'm going to give you guys today, and that is a process called scripting. Okay, now this is super cool because scripting is something that I did for years, and I didn't really realize what I was doing, which is kind of neat. And I've seen celebrities, I've seen teachers, there's so many people be able to do this process and see the results, and I can absolutely vouch for this because I've done this myself, and oh my god, it's incredible. So I want you guys to think of Hollywood scripts, okay? So you've got your script. Hey, look at that. First draft. Your life. Haha. By you. Okay? Nobody else can write that book. So first draft. Your life. I want you guys to start thinking about... Hi, Shane. Hi, Eric. I want you guys to start thinking about what it is you really want to do with your life experience, okay? Now, I don't want you to start thinking about, okay, well, I can't do it because of this. I can't do it because I can't leave the house, or I can't do this because I don't have the money right now. Forget that. Forget all that, okay? I want you guys to start thinking about this in a brand new way. I want you guys to take the limitations off your brain for a little bit, okay? And pull out a pen, paper, computer, tablet, whatever it is for you. And I want you guys to start thinking about, if I could wave a magic wand, if I could write the script of anything that I want to do in my world, how would I do it? How would I do it? What would I do? What do I want to do? Actually, don't even worry about the how. Just what would you want? Write the script of what you want. And what you're going to find, and this is so cool, what you're going to find is that, hello, Lan. What you're going to find is that the emotional state that you started in is not going to be the emotional state that you finish in. It really isn't. And I love the scripting process so much because it ends up, your brain starts to open up to some new ideas. You start to realize, well, wait a minute, like this could be possible. This could happen. And it doesn't matter what it is. Just have fun with it. And it's also a great way to heal some stuff up. If you're feeling fearful, write a solution. Write what it would look like if that wasn't a problem anymore. Start writing this stuff out, because honestly, it starts to create some amazing things. Probably one of the most interesting cases of this process working was the artist Marilyn Manson. And he used to be a journalist. Before he was, the famous artist and rock star and speaker, he was a journalist. And he ended up writing the character of Marilyn Manson. He wanted to be somebody who was educated, who was artistic, a leader, all of these different things. And he decided that he was going to write a story about this character, Marilyn Manson. And he was financially secure. He was, he was respected. He was all of these different things, because when he was a kid, he was severely bullied. And he decided that he's like, I don't want to do this anymore. And even at the time, he didn't realize what he was doing. But he was really scripting the process of his life. And, now here he is being honored in Vienna for his paintings and all of these things. So winning Grammy Awards and all of these different things. Hello, Perry. So it's so cool, because when you get into scripting, the other part of this is the fact that it's first draft. So don't think that you can't alter it. Don't think you can't rewrite it. You can, okay? So let me tell you something about scripts, okay, and production, having been in it for a long 20 years now. This is always in revision. Everything is always in revision. Everything. And I tell this to my clients all the time as well. I tell this to all the people that have been dealing with hauntings and whatnot, and they think, man, I screwed it up the first time. Things are getting worse. I don't see an improvement. And they start to sort of slide right back down into a negative state of mind. Don't let that happen. We are always in revision, and scripts are exactly the same way. Okay? So if you don't get it right the first time, or you want to rewrite a piece, just rewrite it. Just rewrite it. That's all it takes. Okay? The universe is like a GPS system. It doesn't care where you've been. It really doesn't. It really cares where you are going forward, right? So GPS doesn't care. And GPS is really good at rerouting. It's really annoying, but it's really good at rerouting. It doesn't care where you've been. It just knows where you want to be versus where you are. So I really want to encourage you guys, have fun with the scripting idea, because it's so cool, and it's so much fun to write it all out and create like all the scenarios that you wish could happen and whatever. But you will be so surprised. You will be so surprised. Bye, Lizette. You will be so surprised as to what happens when you notice stuff in the world and in the universe start to pop that match the script that you wrote. Because I've had this happen in amazing ways in my life, and I start to notice these things, and then the next thing you know, your script is manifesting and it's happening. So it's pretty cool, and that's the reason why I give this to my clients also, is because that concept starts to reshape hauntings in different people's homes. When people begin to focus on how it is that they want their experience to be, rather than focusing on what is, things start to change. The momentum of what we're creating starts to shift, and suddenly we've got this momentum going where the dominant thoughts are the things that we want, and the things we want to focus on and create, rather than the things that are currently present in our experience, such as, you know, a negative haunting, something frightening, activity we don't like, or, you know, stuff going on in our environment. So highly recommend at that process. As I say, if you guys missed the focus wheel process, please go back on yesterday's spiritual healthcare, because that process is it's less time consuming, and you can kind of do it on the fly, which is pretty cool. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this and got something out of it. I'm going to be doing this every single day, so please tune in, please share this. It's so great to be able to connect with everybody, because I know everybody's sort of struggling with the social distancing thing. And April the 4th, you guys, please join me on Crowdcast, because we're going to be doing something super special. The show that I normally do at the expos, the comic expos, Ritual, Exorcism, and Film and Television, we're going to be doing online live on Crowdcast. Okay, so tickets are only $20. I would love for you guys to be there. I am really excited about sharing it with you. It was actually named one of the top 5 things to do in Vancouver this February. It was really great. So I really hope I see you guys at Ritual on Crowdcast. So get yourselves a Crowdcast account, because that's free. And just reserve your spot. I'm so excited. We've got people signed up from Australia and the UK, and like just all over the place. And I can't wait to be able to present that with you guys. So you write down, we're going to be hearing from the people that had the original journals that from The Exorcist, that did the true story behind The Exorcist. So those people, we're going to be hearing from the fellow who has those journals, the original journals. We're going to be listening to audio recordings from the case behind The Conjuring. We're going to be talking about where the concept of exorcism in films comes from now. And we're going to sort of be breaking open this topic, which is kind of taboo and it doesn't really get talked about. So I am so excited about that. It's going to be 6 p.m. Mountain Time on Crowdcast, and the information is on, of course, the Entity Seeker Facebook page. You can find the event, as well as entityseeker.ca, because, you know, everything goes on entityseeker.ca anyway. But anyway, this, as I say, is every day. Spiritual healthcare is every day. I would love to see you guys again tomorrow morning. I hope you guys have an amazing Tuesday. Okay, go into it with positive energy, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Okay, until then, if you guys have questions, also please email, message, write it in the comments and whatnot, and we will talk about them all tomorrow. I try to get to all the questions, so please send them in. Okay, bye everybody.